Good evening, you're watching Fiji Today News. I'm Lavinia Ndiva. Leading tonight's bulletin, the Indian Minister for State for Foreign Affairs touched down this afternoon on a state visit to Fiji. Received by officials from Fiji's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation at Nausori Airport, Mrs. Paramjit Kaur's first visit on her itinerary was the Samambula Sikh Temple and the Samambula Shiv Temple. Her schedule for the week sees the minister meeting with various government officials as well as officiating at various functions organised by the Indian High Commission to Fiji. Meanwhile, the Governor-General of the Solomon Islands, Sir Frank Kabui, who arrived this week and was installed as the Chancellor of the University of the South Pacific, left the country today after a one-week visit. The Prime Minister, Commodore Vurengin Bainimarama, raised concerns at the construction development of the Rabi Jetty. On a recent tour of the North, the Prime Minister noted the delay in completion works and assured the Banaban community on the completion of the jetty, adding that the future prospects of any trade from Rambi depends on the completion of the jetty.
Works began in 2009 and were halted after a change in contractors to the construction of the Rabi Jetty. However, the Prime Minister, Commodore Vurengin Bainimarama, this week assured the Banaban community that the jetty will be completed by early next year. On a visit, the Prime Minister was pressed on the issue of the delay in the completion of the jetty at a recent meeting with government officials and the Rambi community.
The members of the Kiribati government during the leadership meeting last week, and they were very excited about these talks, but we need to get this Rambi jetty underway. So hopefully by February next year we will have roll-on, roll-off boats coming into Rambi, utilizing the new Rambi jetty.
The Prime Minister also reiterated the economic benefits to the community and called on government officials to ensure that works are completed according to its time schedule.
When I was here 3 years ago, we had talked about this, and there was an understanding that it would have been built by this time. Unfortunately, the company that came up with the construction work that was handed the tender initially didn't do a good job, I understand. So they've given the tender works to another company, and they will now start in October. And the Rabi Jetty, I understand, will be ready by February, March next year.
The Prime Minister added that talks with officials from the government of Kiribati at the recent Engaging with the Pacific meeting held in Nadi last week indicated the anticipation of the Kiribati government on the completion of the jetty to facilitate trade between our countries.
I hope the technical people will keep an eye out on this construction, because it's very important, not only to Rambi, the people of Rambi, but also to the project we have in mind. And that is to continue with the export of root crops, not only to Tuvalu, but also to Kiribati.
Local businessman Graham Eden believes that more local support is needed by the Fijians to help promote the Buy Fijian Made, Made in Fiji campaign. Local products, when compared alongside the large volumes of imports, indicate an immediate need to decrease our import bill. It's this trend that's given government the opportunity to ensure that local entrepreneurs are given a fair opportunity to market their trade locally.
We say, for the rest of your life. Now that could be interpreted in a couple of ways. For the remainder of your life, if you like, and we believe it's the case, but it's also for the rest, the comfort that you would get with our furniture that we would like to see more used in this country, so we can employ more people, we can sell more furniture because we employ more people, we can give them more money to take home for their children, to put their meals on the table, and at the end of the day, because it's only a hobby thing for me, I'd be delighted to think that we could get more interest in what is truly quality furniture made by tropical leisure creations for the rest of your life.
If given the right support, the potential for Buy Fijian Made, Made in Fiji campaign would accelerate Fiji's economic growth and boost local industries to perform even better. The campaign is aimed at ensuring that local products get top priority on the shelves and an advantage to exporting these products offshore. However, local businessman and well-known radio sports commentator Graham Eden believes that government needs to tighten up the bottlenecks that have somehow prevented local businesses from fully realizing their potential. Mr. Eden was also referring to an earlier issue where furniture were brought in from Asia and sold in Fiji at much cheaper prices, which made it harder for local manufacturers to compete with.
Well, I think that the reality would be to tighten up on what was always promised in respect to the duty upon imported furniture. And not specifically cane, but any imported furniture. There are quality artisans in Fiji who make excellent furniture. We have wonderful joiners ourselves, and I'm certain that there are others out in the market who need to improve their way of life, but in order to do so, they need to be able to make more money to feed their families. If we could get a block on overseas furniture coming into Fiji, we would have better quality furniture turned out, there would be more people involved in the furniture making business, and without a doubt they would be competed for because they are precious. Those people who make good furniture are very precious indeed and deserve to have good money for doing such good work. We need more of them, and Fiji has the mahogany, Fiji has the palm wood, and accessibility to a quality product like Techno Rattan is an opportunity to provide that same opportunity for our joiners to mould it, to fix it, to present it, and for more people to buy it.
Mr. Eden is hopeful that the initiative by government to ensure local consumers buy more Fiji-made products will in the long run help small to medium enterprises lift their level of productivity.
We'll take a break now. Stay with us, sending your letters to our rugby boys in New Zealand and making telecommunications available.